gentlemen, welcome to lovely Fremont, California, and Centerville Junior High School, as we are proud to bring you this installation, the North American installation of the Super Globe. The Super Globe event is an event that started back in 1997, featuring the greatest club teams in the world. A lot of you just got done watching the 2020/21 Olympic Games, and a lot of people got really excited about handball. And as you all know, that is a level of national team competition. Well, the chemistry is going to be a little bit different with the club competition. Without any further ado, I'm glad to introduce my cohort, my friend and colleague, Anthony Scott Knox, who has been a national team player, including a trip to Argentina for the Pan Am Games, as well as a trip to Germany. So a few caps. So welcome, Scott, and tell us a little bit about what we could see here tonight.
We are going to see some high-flying, fast action. You introduced me. Did you introduce yourself? I don't even remember if you said your name, Miles Bacon.
That's right.
The myth, the legend. I'm so glad to be here in Fremont with you right now. Yeah, I'm expecting a lot out of both teams right now. I've had the opportunity to play with San Fran Calheat over the last 2 years, minus that 1 year that we all sat at home for a little bit. But I've gotten a chance to play with a lot of these guys, a lot of explosion action, counterattack. Might see some 7-on-6 play from San Francisco Calheat tonight. You never know what they're going to bring. Their head coach, Danilo, is really into technique, fundamentals, and fast-paced handball. I'm really excited to see that. The team from Monterey, the Ministros, are a little bit more under the radar as far as we're concerned here in the Bay Area, but we're very excited to see this young and very excited team take on the Calheat this evening.
That's a good point, Scott. The Ministros are the Mexican club champions. They are the reigning club champions. I guess, you know, with everything with the pandemic, they, by default almost, retain the title. That said, they put together a heck of a team. They are decidedly pretty young, but these kids are ready. And like you said about San Fran, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens as far as strategy goes. They're not as tall as the Calheat squad. Maybe their quickness, maybe some tactics in counter. You know, we'll look for all of these developments as we go forward. So tonight's matchup is featuring Club Ministros de Monterrey in Mexico, as taking on the local San Francisco Calheat. And the third component to this Super Globe competition will be New York City team handball. Now, Calheat and New York City, for the past 2 or 3 national championships for the United States Open Nationals, have gone back and forth. So it's going to be a heck of a time this week. We are so glad to be able to bring this to everyone.
That time. You can hear both teams coming to the floor right now, getting very pumped up and excited about this match right here. We've got San Fran Calheat coming out on our right side hand of your screen. And then, of course, the Ministros on the left-hand side wearing that gray and green camouflage-like
right,
color.
Almost an Army-type look for them. I like it. And the Calheat, very classic uniforms with a navy and white trim. We are excited as heck to have everyone here. Thank you all for joining us. I am very excited to see what this week really brings us. And a ticket for the victor of this tournament, they get to head on to the next phase of the Super Globe, and the Super Globe Championship this year will take place in Saudi Arabia, technically in 2022. Now we're going to have our teams line up at half court, and we will do the presentation of colors and anthems, I believe.
Yeah, very customary in these international competitions. Both teams come together, shake hands, oftentimes maybe even exchange gifts. We'll see if they're just switching bench sides right here before they get ready to set up and come out right now. But again, the Calheat team, one cool thing about that is you see a lot of guys that kind of make up like California in general, a lot of the West Coast guys on this team. You'll kind of see their counterparts, the New York City Handball Club, tomorrow night when they take on Calheat. That's where you're going to see kind of like the East Coast guys. These guys, again, all from around the California area, including some pickups from overseas, from Sweden, Germany, even France.
Today we kick off the North American Caribbean qualifier for the 2021 IHF Super Globe. where the top clubs for each continental federation will gather to compete for the highly coveted championship title. This is an immense opportunity for teams competing these next few days to participate in one of the most prestigious tournaments in handball. We are thankful for the members of the San Francisco Calheat Club who worked tirelessly to put together this event in a short period of time while keeping everyone safe.
And there it is, that customary
Before we
handshake.
introduce the teams, we also want to give a special
We
shout
got
out to our
one of the
commentators
lead
today.
Calheat officials welcoming the crowd, which is relatively small, of course, because hashtag, as I always say, because COVID. We're being as safe as we can right here. All people certainly required to even test negative just to walk in the gym tonight. So feeling very safe.
For San Francisco Calheat, number 7, Slavej Jovanovski.
Lineups coming up right now for San Fran Calheat.
Number 19, Soren Müller. Number 28, Alexandre Lassade. Number 21, Mariel Shepas. Number 33, Drew Donlin. Number 38, Theodor Skogsholm. Number 35, Paul Asphalt. Number 54, Luca Engla. Number 61, Eloy Rubio. Number 11, Mikio Tada. Number 62, Zued Akuro. Number 60, Cristobal Terrillo. Number 37, Alexander Loa. Number 24, Maximilian Orchenova. Number 78, Ogi Bazanjani.
Club Ministros. Number 13, Araf Hernández. Number 24, Juan Ibarra. Number 5, Francisco Muñiz. Number 12, Eric Trejo. Number 2, Joel Adame. Number 10, Fabián Hernández. Number 11, Mauricio Martínez. Number 21, Leonardo Ayala. Number 23, Luis Avalos. Number 77, Noé Treviño. Number 54, Irving Mantilla. Number 1, Leonel Gloria. Team officials, Rogelio Mantilla, Jesús González, Anabel Ríos.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Referees, Eric and Brian Belmonte from Mexico. At the table, Agustina Miconi and Juan Pablo Roy. Delegate David Portillo.
All right, no anthems. And we got a convenient pronunciation guide, so that helps us out. We apologize in advance if we mispronounce anyone's names. Just know that we are doing what we can, and please don't take anything personally if we say it incorrectly. So thank you all in advance for all of your cooperation. We are glad to have this once again here from Centerville Junior High School in Fremont, California.
Teams coming together for that last group huddle before they bring it all on the court. Siren from the blue,
That's right.
San Fran Calheat.
You know the adrenaline's got to be through the roof right now because this is an opportunity, a qualifier to participate in one of the top championships in the world.
And as important as that is, Miles, think about the fact that I can't specifically speak for this Ministros team, but this is the first competition that Calheat has taken on since about February of 2020.
That's true. For a lot of these teams, it's been really tough to get any kind of competition. In fact, some of our players have gone through a lot of different routines and regimens to try to stay fit throughout the COVID pandemic thing. So, a little bit of change to routines, maybe some more hikes and jogs, a little bit more outdoorsy stuff, but it's all kind of built to this moment. I'm personally really excited to be here. It's been a while since I've seen handball, so it should be a lot of fun. Our starters tonight for the Calheat team, we will have number 38, Theo Skoltsom. Number 62 at left back is Zued Akuro. And our center back, number 21, Makiel Shepers. Number 54 at the right back is Luca Engler, and number 35 at the right wing is Paul Osvalg. And into the pivot position is number 19, that is Soren Muller. Here's its action from the top.
Quick action right off the bat from the left back position from Zued Akuro. We're going to see a lot of that left side attack. There was both Zued and Theo on the left side wing right there.
And there wasn't a lot of, extreme movement there. There was not, that was a pretty vanilla offense of sorts. And so, we'll see what kind of dynamic comes about as we play, as we continue to play. Again, for the Ministros, from right to left, we have number 23, Luis Avalos. Loose ball.
Contact, let go.
Wrapped up, good foul.
And you'll see a lot of
common foul, folks.
Like that where the ball just gets reset. Ball again going right to left.
Our right back is number 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez. Tough foul. Common foul, though. It's handball.
You won't see the referees picking those balls up. When it's a foul, the players will control it as long as everything's good. The referee will say go. And here comes Calheat back on the counterattack. Zued coming down the middle. And attack stopped by number 23 of the Ministros, Luis Avalos.
Great attack. It's really tough to kind of corral a guy like Zued, as he calls himself, Zeus. He's a very strong as well as nimble player. A lot of explosion. All right. California and running their set.
Top circle to right back. Zued swinging the ball to the right. Going to be another common foul right over there to the right back.
A yellow card is the call.
There.
Yellow card called against number 54. That is a warning. That is Royer Mancia. His first yellow card. You get 1 yellow card. Your next time where you do something that is of questionable action, you will receive a
hard
2
shot
minute.
Off the post. Soren with the rebound right there at 6 meters, but he just bounced it right over the crossbar. Ministros coming back out quickly on the counterattack.
Quick counter.
Calheat is already back on the 6th line. Ooh.
Fouled at the middle. Number 13, Arad Hernandez, looks to be their main playmaker at center back.
Peeked over his shoulder right there at the referee, kind of looking for a yellow card on the other side of the court there after the referee gave one on the other side. But again, common foul and they're resetting here.
Yeah, Roger Mancia, who received the yellow card on the other end, is left back, and the left wing is going to be Daniel Ayala. Those are your starters, as well as our pivot, number 23. Oh, sorry, number 2, Yoel Garcia. All right, action coming from the left wing.
Everything bottled up.
Yep.
Ministro is able to get no penetration on that Calheat defense right now.
And one of the things about team handball is the ability to be physical early. If you can be physical early, a lot of times you can kind of create doubt within an offensive team. So, Calheat is really trying to put their impetus upon this game early.
Miles, you spoke about the size difference early on, and you're seeing that here in the Ministros' first true offensive possession right here. They are just running into a stone wall over and over again. Hands up, stall is on.
Stall warning is a call. Now it is a dribbling violation. In basketball, you probably call that a double dribble, but a dribbling violation on the same. Here's the counterattack. Swung to the right wing. Just on the inside, near side shot. No trouble for the keeper. 25 minutes remaining in the first. 25 and change, remaining in the first. No foul.
No call from the referee. Sormuller on the counter. Nice pass from Lucas.
Ooh.
And a nice fluff.
Boy, that
from
was
Soren on that fast break.
that was juicy. I like it.
That was a nice little interesting first shot for Soren on the tournament. He's ready to go.
Well, he did miss the one from the pivot before, so he wanted to get one in to make sure.
So after he really powdered through the crossbar, he said, right. just lob it over.
Right.
Just float it in. You know? Rookie of the year style.
All right, so the Ministros on the attack from the left. Good cut on the backside from the right back. Woo! Stick and score.
Easy backdoor cut.
Number 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez gets the Ministros on the board.
A lot of steps.
Traveling violation is the call.
The Ministros were looking for that about 2 possessions ago. They got it this time.
Yep.
On the outside, number 54 for San Fran Calheat.
You can see, you can really see that, that goal brought a lot for Ministros. A penalty shot is called as well as a yellow card. A yellow card is assessed to number 54 from San Fran, Luca Engler. His first yellow card.
I think that's actually on 35.
Is it?
Paul Asphalt.
Okay.
On that contact right there.
We will try to get that confirmed. I don't want to have anybody's mom feeling scared or anything.
Right, referee automatically gave that penalty, and number 5 for Ministros able to convert the penalty.
All right. Now it's a 2-2 game.
Scores tied.
All right. Here's Calheat looking to kind of match the intensity. You can hear the Ministros crowd.
That defense out on the left back and right back. They're trying to take Zued out on the outside.
That's right. Look at the high pressure. They're going to have to play underneath with their wings and their pivot.
Nice 2-man game, but again, Soren.
Good pass from the wing to the pivot. And a little bit outside. A little bit of excitement yet. But yeah, when you see the extended pressure, they're looking to take the pressure to the right and left backs, isolating the center back. They're really going to have to work with the wings and the pivot if they're going to try to work underneath and play against this zone, this pressure.
Let's see if they leave the shadow on. There it comes.
Yep, here comes.
Pressure out. He's running past it.
Turnover.
The ball, turns it over. Ministros back on the counterattack. They've got about even numbers, 3-on-3, but from the left side.
And it's in number 21, Daniel Ayala. With his first goal, it's 3-2.
This team is going to fight.
This is going to be.
I spoke with them before the game, and all you heard over and over again was, we are going to work the hardest you've ever seen. We are going to work the hardest we've ever seen. We're going to put everything we possibly can into making Mexico the first team to ever qualify. Tipped
and scored by number 54, Luca Engler. Score is 3-3. Ministros on the attack, penetrating on the left side. Jersey pull is a 2-minute.
And that is his second yellow card, so immediately official with that 2-minute penalty up in the air.
Honestly, you let me tell it. If you pull on a jersey, you're going to get a 2 every time. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. That said, now Calheat plays a man down. Ministros attacking from the left, a little bit of high pressure from the middle. Pivot set up on the left side. The attack looks to be building from the left. Pivot changes position to the right side. Ooh, nice fake.
Nice ball fake
that was
from the center back
right
here.
Fake. That's a score by number 54, Roger Mancia.
Calheat slowing it down as they bring the ball up court, going to try to set something up here on the offensive side.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're down a man to try to strategize how to, not only kill the penalty, but also score. So it'll be interesting to see what they kind of do. Looks like they're looking to get tied up.
Smart play right here. They want to take as much time as they can off this penalty. Nobody even wants to throw this ball in right now. Take a couple more seconds off the clock.
A little bit of James Harden type. A 2-minute penalty is called on number 23 from Ministros, Luis Avalos.
And just like that, we are even now. A lot of extra space on the court now as we go into a 5-on-5 game. We'll see how Calheat tries to attack this now if they're even, but a little bit of extra space here on the right side, it seems, as Calheat goes without a right wing.
Yeah, they've really tilted their offense. Interesting. Seems like that would have been a good opportunity to continue playing. Oof, nice juke. No foul. No foul called.
Nice move left to right by Zued right there, but as he dove in, we would have thought that he might have gotten a penalty shot as he dove for that goal, but referee says no penalty.
The rules emphasis, from my interpretation here recently, is as long as the player seems to have control while they're shooting, even if they've been fouled beforehand, a penalty shot is called.
Clear scoring opportunity interrupted right there by Calheat.
Yep. They called the defender slightly inside. Penalty shot drawn by number 2, Yoel Garcia, and it'll be taken by number 5, Francisco Muniz. And just like that, it's 5-3. Club Ministros.
Lucas Kroger able to get a hand on that ball, but not quite enough to keep it out of goal right there.
It's always tough. As a goalie, just like in soccer, you almost have to kind of guess, position yourself, and be strong. He got a good hand to it, just wasn't firm enough. Now it's a 5-3 game.
For the first time checking in, Eloy Ruby on the left back.
Charges the call, offensive foul.
On his first touch of the game. Again, going back the other way, Ministros still down a man. It is now the Ministros down 1 man, Calheat up a man right now.
Yep. That should last for another maybe 20 seconds or so. Ministros, just as Calheat did, is going to try to, kill the clock a little bit. Take some time out. You want to watch the referees. If they put their hand up, then there's a stalling warning, kind of like a shot clock in basketball.
That's what you see Soren in the middle right there, holding his hand up, waiting for that stall call. Ministros still attacking. They won't get much more of this. Ball out of bounds, turned over, and Calheat's going to run with it.
There you go. Good defensive possession for the Calheat squad.
That's the second time you've seen right there on the sideline that Lucas has forgotten to step on the sideline to throw that ball in. Again, this is the first competition for a lot of these players in about a year and a half.
So probably some cobwebs and
you're going to see them trying to knock some of that off right here, but that's to be expected. It's been a while.
It's been a while, like the song says. All right, ball swinging around on the offensive side. Calheat. There's Slava Jovanovs. Nice cut, good pass, good wrap-up. I tell you what, Ministros is not big, but these kids are physical. They are ready to ball. Like, they are here to play.
They are here to fight. They said they're going to work as a team. They're going to move as a team, and they're looking to win this tournament as a team. That's what they said over and over again. We spoke with them.
They're going after it. I'm excited to see what they're doing. The way that they're playing, sometimes just the juice and energy, can keep you propelled forward. We'll see how this develops as the game goes. More high pressure out top.
Eloy going left to right again. He's not doing anything different right here. Ministros moving left to right with him every single time he goes.
That's right. Luis Avalos is not the guy that you want to try to attack on, apparently. Look at him. He's there wrapping
really
up.
Coming together right now for Monterrey.
There's Avalos again. The kid is here. He is ready to play. He is wrapping up any and everything that is attacking towards the middle.
Again, stall up now. You're only going to get so many of those common fouls.
6 passes to go. Ooh, nice move.
Nice fake.
And a
nice
shot.
Goal.
Great shot, great play. 54, Luca Engler, and Calheat is down 1 with 17:50 remaining in the first half. All right, so it's a good one.
Way to get something out of nothing right there.
Exactly.
Calheat down to their last 1 or 2 passes, and then Luca able to cut into the middle, make a nice ball fake, and throw it right down the side.
Yeah, remember on a stalling, you have 6 pass completions before the turnover. So they did a really good job, as Scott said, kind of making something out of nothing and finding a way to get what they wanted. All right, heavy attack on the left side. The ball didn't really move much to the right from Ministros. So maybe
both teams all even again right here, 6 on 6.
Even strength.
Again, you see that right there. Calheat barely with their hands up, and Ministros just barely able to get it over their head. Again, the size difference really weighing in right here.
It really is. And, it's interesting. Even though they didn't make that – whoa!
Okay.
Even though they didn't make that pass, it forces the defense to have to close around the pivot, and that score comes to us from number 24.
Comes from us from where? Where did it come from?
It came from somewhere over near Mountain View because he fired that thing in. Ooh, good shot from the wing.
Nice answer right there by the left wing, Theo Skolksholm. Again, one of those international pickups for Calheat here. Looking to do some of his studies here in the Bay Area once COVID is finished. He's played multiple tournaments with Calheat already. And here he comes down the left side again, right down the middle.
Comes back with another.
Back-to-back goals. Calheat now has got it tied 6-6.
6-6 our score, 16-15 remaining in the first half.
We'll see how the Ministros are able to answer right here. Just a second ago, it was a 6-4 game, and now just like that, Theo, 2 scores on the left side. It's tied up, and now the Ministros trying to get something going from right to left.
Both of these teams are really eager to capitalize off of turnovers. If you can, get a steal, maybe a pass ball, something. No foul called. No.
Nothing called. Theo again running down the left side. Overthrown by Lucas Kroger.
It's a good thought. Just wasn't delivered properly. Ministros gets the setup again. Making a couple changes here.
All right, big possession right here. We are a quarter of the way through this game. 2 30-minute halves, 15 minutes into this first half now. Score tied. Nobody's able to break away yet.
It's number 24, Juan Ibarra, who let that nice set shot rip from the middle. Ooh.
Kind of juked himself out right there, but he was able to get it to the right wing.
Save.
And Lucas again kicking it out to the other side of the court. But the goalie took it out of bounds and then picked it up and walked away with it. You can't do that.
So that was a delay of game that they called on the goalie effectively. At that point, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to drop the ball and turn and tuck tail and get back into the net. And he kind of delayed it a little bit, sat it down on the court. The referee wasn't having any piece of it. Now they've got to put in a new goalkeeper.
That's going to be quite the development.
Whew.
You'll see the goalie coming in with a different jersey. He's got to distinguish himself different from the other players. They did not think that they were going to be playing with a backup goalie that looks like he was a court player about 30 seconds ago.
Right.
He's moving side to side in that goal. We'll see what Calheat's able to do. Immediately a 2-on-1.
Goal ball is called as the pivot got the ball on the 6 meters and stepped in.
Cristobal, unfortunately, yet not able to secure that pass from Slavio right there as they were attacking on the left side. Stepped on the line, immediate turnover. Goalie ball again. Ministros down a man right now.
Yep.
Trying to kill off some of this penalty.
That's right. It's going to be a long 2 minutes without their, starting keeper out there.
They're still moving here on the right side. Nice jump and put down. As long as you drop the ball before you come down on that third step, you can keep it going.
Yep. Watching for passive play. A good strategy here is to go in and get tied up.
And
now
that passive play hand is
on,
up right here.
so
you can
see
only
the
look for
referee.
about 4 or 5 more passes right now for the Ministros before it's going to be either a shot or a turnover.
Look, and they're still, again, in the mode of killing the penalty.
What a
Great
shot. Again, another set
shot. With a rip.
From about 11 meters out right there.
That's a great
Danilo's not going to be happy. A man up right there. And a man about 5'6" is hitting from 11 meters is not going to be happy with
a
his
man
defense there.
up with a stall on. All of the pressure at that point was on the offense. Big attack by Eloy. Great job.
Nice to see that for Eloy right there. A couple of hiccups. First time he got a charge running into the left back position. Another time dropped the ball, bobbled it around the center back position. This time he was able to get all the way through and get it in the net.
They were applying a lot of pressure, in that they just did a very simple crash, applied a lot of pressure onto that defensive, I guess you would call it left side of the defense, the right side of the offense. We're able to make a lot of moves happen. And at that point, once you set up the advantage, it's just a matter of...
Ministros now even 6-on-6.
It's just a matter of getting what you want. Woo. That was a nasty rip.
And if that's what you want, then that's what you'll get.
Scored by number 23, Luis Avalos, who has proved himself to be quite a defender. That was a nice little kind of almost like in hockey where you have like a goalie screen. The way he shot that ball, the goalie couldn't pick it up until after it had cleared the shoulder of the defender, and he just didn't have enough time to react.
So very interesting right here. It looks like they are going to choose to keep that keeper that got the 2-minute penalty on the bench. Again, both teams are now even. But they are going to stick with that second goalkeeper here. So maybe he was ready to take on a second position here.
And it could be just as simple as them trying to wait until a better opportunity to sub him in. We'll just see. We don't know what their strategy is, but we'll pay attention and we'll see what happens. So the defender from Ministros, Mr. Avalos, felt that the foul had happened out past 9 meters and tried to steal it on the restart. Great play. Off of the chest of the Ministros player, ripped out of his hands, off his chest, and back to Calheat. Your score is 8-7, folks. We're under 12 minutes remaining.
Wow. 2-minute penalty on the play. It looks like it was a clear chance to score on that fast break. They're going to assess that 2-minute penalty.
Yep, the 2-minute is called on Noe Trevino, and it looks like I guess the referee felt he shoved him in the back while he had a clear scoring, or at least a opportunity to continue. Maybe it was just dangerous play they called. That said, Ministros is once again on a penalty. Calheat has another man advantage. Lots of space on that right side.
Eloy, easy in. Bounce shot to the top left-hand side of the goal. Calheat now tied it up again, 8-8.
It's really that simple. And, folks, you should be able to see kind of the tilt of the defense and how hard it is to cover the entire court. That's why it's important for your offensive players, especially the wings, stay deep into those corners, force the defense to have to cover the entire width of the court. When you're down a man, it's tough enough when you are even strength, let alone when you're down a man.
Calheat playing relatively soft here, man up. You might look for them to extend a little bit, but they're happy staying on the 6. Theo with the deflection. Lucas not able to knock that ball off the baseline before he came outside of the 6, but he was able to get a nice save right there.
Great save.
Calheat bringing it back down the court now. Eloy passing the ball off to Slavio on the left side. Slavio looking for Drew Donlin. Captain America, as some of us call him.
Drew Donlin.
Setting up here on the circle pivot position.
Captain in the United States Air Force, All-American from the Air Force Academy. Offensive foul is called.
Assessed on the pivot for a moving screen. As you saw Eloy, I believe it was, go left or right and look to attack on the right side. They got Soren Mueller right there with a holding penalty on the inside of that offense. So they resulted in the turnover.
As a pivot, just like in basketball, you've got to kind of set your ground and let the defense play off of you. You can't play into them, and that's how he got popped for one. All right, 10 minutes left in the first half. 8-8 is your score. Live here from Fremont,
Watching
California.
24 at the set shot. He's able to get off the ground, too, and he gets a pass, Lucas.
Boy, oh boy, that's
enough to get it off a crossbar and back out to the rebounding.
Goal scored by number 23, Luis Avalos.
Eloy going hard again on the right side. His 3rd goal now, I believe.
3 in a row. He scored the last 3 for Calheat. 9-9 is our score. 9.5 minutes remaining in the first half. This is some great action, folks, going back and forth. Again, we have the San Francisco Calheat taking on Club Ministros de Monterrey in Mexico. So glad to have you here. My name is Miles Bacon alongside of Anthony Scott Knox. So glad to be able to bring you this Super Globe qualifier. Tomorrow will feature the New York City team, the last team to participate from North America in a Super Globe event.
Still no separation right here. Again, we're seeing this Ministros team really hang in and fight to stay with this Calheat team honestly I would have thought would have been able to get a little bit more separation at this point. But as the Ministros said, they came here to fight, they came here to compete, and they're staying at it. A lot of contact, and he's saying that he's holding my jersey. He's holding my jersey. Looking for a little bit more than just a common foul right there.
It's firm. This is, these are two teams that are really ready for action here. Timeout is called.
First clock stoppage of the game.
That's right. And
I
it's
believe
official timeout, really. So it's, nothing more than just to get this little bit of wetness from the guys sliding across the floor, make conditions a little bit safer, and we can get back into action.
Couple of replays right here. You see Eloy coming down the middle, going left to right. A lot of contact, still able to get the goal in. Again, his 3rd in a row right there for San Fran Calheat.
And Scott, that replay was a great example of how the height differential really can matter. It doesn't mean that the Ministros team can't be physical, but sometimes they're just going to be able to get their shot off from any angle because they're so much taller than the Calheat team. Turnover there.
You see that height difference causing that turnover right as you speak about it.
That's right. All length matters. Nice dish from Drew Donlin.
Yes, it is.
Great pass, great finish. Theo with the finish.
And again, on cue, you see a lot of times a taller goalkeeper easily able to snatch a shot like that out of the air, those slow floater shots over the top.
That's right.
But again, you see the height difference coming into play once again, back-to-back plays, one time on the offensive side and then immediately even in the goalkeeper position.
That's right. Height differential matters, and, honestly, it's the kind of thing where, sometimes the arm angle of a shooter will deceive a goalie into believing that he's coming with a regular speed shot, and at the last maybe 5% of his throw, he just changes the speed, and that's it. Nice skip pass across. Good save. Massive save. Good hustle.
Theo out here
There's
running the
Theo.
break, looking for Soren on
Theo
the left
and
side.
Soren.
He's got no room over here,
Ooh, nice
but he's able to get
pass.
it back to Eloy on the right side
Eloy
of the
once
circle.
again. Eloy scored 4 of the last 5 goals. In fact, the last 8 goals, 7 goals of this game have been scored by either Theo or Eloy. So these two guys are really making
See them
themselves.
setting up right there on the right-hand side of Calheat's defense. They love coming down on the left-hand side of Calheat's offense. Now got the score 11-9 off of the run between those two.
That's right. Calheat's really looking to kind of turn the tide a little bit. Got a couple more subs in. Really looking to take advantage of any mistakes.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the score was 6-4 at one point in favor of the Ministros. Right wing goal right there for the Ministros. Player down and game stopped by the referees as they tend to the offensive player who seemed to maybe twist his ankle as he went up to that goal.
I guess we won't speculate but so much, but he did come down a little bit awkwardly. Here's a replay of the build though. Great attack, way to set up. Great finish. Looked like Theo tried to sell that a little bit, but the goal was scored by number 23.
And that's what I feel like it was. I felt like it was a goal. There was a little bit of contact over there.
Yep.
It is handball.
Right.
There's going to be a
There's
little bit
gonna
of contact
be
a lot of times.
Some contact, some embellishment.
He was able to come out with that goal. Hopefully he's able to walk off and get back in the game soon enough.
Luis Avalos has proved himself to be quite an attacker as well as defender. He scored their last 3 goals and almost single-handedly has kept them right around during this last flurry. A timeout is called by San Francisco Calheat. 6:35 remaining in the first half. Calheat with an 11-10 advantage over Ministros.
Really important right there for them to get that goal coming off the right wing. There was a moment when Theo tried to take that charge right there on the right-hand side of that defense, but the offensive player was able to pass it off before the contact happened. The right wing was able to pick it up and go hard for that shot to bring them within 1 with only 6.5 minutes to go. Again, you're only in this game. We played 25 minutes so far. We scored 21 goals.
Yep.
So you're really only looking about like a goal a minute. So every single goal you can get is clutch right here as we proceed right now.
I think from Theo's mindset, any goal that he can take away. Unfortunately, he tried to move forward to take a charge, which doesn't really work like that. But he did a good job all the same in at least obstructing and forcing them to make the pass. It just takes a little bit better pass. They got it to him and finished.
You see Coach Plata and Coach Mancia in the Ministros huddle right there trying to encourage his guys. I think that what you really got to have is defense on one side of the floor and just smart offensive play on the other side of the floor. Calheat has not really proven as the game has started to proceed that they can stop some of those set shots, some of those quick up and drop and then diving in shots. Ministros is being able to get a lot of what you would think that they want. So more smart decisions from the Ministros as they come down the offensive side, and they've got to. There was that period about 5 minutes into the game where you said it was like they were stopping everything, they were wrapping up everything. Yep. But as Eloy was able to break in 3 or 4 out of the last 5 attempts, You're starting to think that where are some of those hits that we were seeing about 10 minutes ago from the Ministros. We'll see if they're able to get that defense together right here as we come out of the timeout.
Yep, and we'll see how Ministros really adjusts. Eloy has 4 goals. Theo has 3. And that's, more or less the bulk of the Calheat attack right now. Number of transition plays, really taking advantage.
Easy. That's not the defense we're looking for.
Eloy.
For the Ministros, 61. Eloy Rubio right down Broadway on the left side. There was, 6-foot gap.
They opened it up like a Hove lane, They really did. It was wide open. The third defender was a little bit too excited to get into the middle.
We got social distance on the Ministros line back there, 6 feet in between each defender. Eloy is like, thank you very much.
Oh, it's too soon, Anthony. It's too soon.
Ministros back with the counterattack now. Ooh. And now we're seeing that size difference coming back in. Number 54, Luca Engler with Eloy Rubio. Those 3 defenders in the middle of the 6 flat defense that Calheat has been playing all game long now. I would say that I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't seen more out of them so far, as we get a 2-minute penalty and a penalty shot awarded for the Ministros. 2 minutes assessed to Paul That's fall. That's the second 2-minute penalty. Was there a 2-minute
I don't
penalty?
know. There wasn't a 2, just a penalty shot. And a goal once again by number 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez.
You're right. Calheat just holding on to that 1-goal game now, moving quickly down left to right. Secondary attack.
Really quick close right there. That was a great opportunity for Calheat to get a shot from the right wing. Ministros did a great job of closing. More pressure back to the right side. Great. Eloy, he's in his bag. He's deep in his bag.
He's just taking over right now. There's nobody on that Ministros team that's able to stay in front of him as he attacks on either the right side of the defense and left side of the defense. And as we say that, the Ministros are bringing in their starting goalie back into the game right now.
13-11 is our score. Eloy has 6 of the Calheat 13. So he's really starting to find his rhythm and really put this team on his back some. Ooh.
That was a travel.
Those are steps.
Came up with the ball, big jump, came down with it without dribbling it. Now we got Theo back on the left side.
And a bucket.
And he is pumped, running back down the left side with his 4th goal of the game.
All right, Ministros, this is where the game starts to get a little bit more, you want to gain your focus. The 3-goal game is kind of the buffer zone. You know, there's something psychologically challenging about being down more than 3 goals, but somehow at 3 goals and under, you feel like you're really very much a part of what to do.
Goodness, a lot of jersey pulling right there. He's not going to be able to stay in with that.
Yes. On number 60, grabbing and throwing. It wasn't
that was
just
easy
a grab.
Call. He's not arguing. He's walking off. He grabbed him by the jersey and slung him to the ground. There's going to be a 2-minute penalty on Cristobal right there for Calheat.
Cristobal Del Rio gets a little bit excited. Earns himself a 2-minute. And now, Club Ministros on the attack. Look how wide they're spreading. Whew, good gracious.
About the 3rd time I've seen them try to go right down the middle on Lucas, and
big save.
He's got him swallowed up.
Big save.
The 5-hole was not open on about 2 of those last attempts that you've seen from the right side of the offense right there.
Lucas Kroger was having none of it. Calheat looking to kill the penalty some. A little bit of pressure from Ministros.
Ministros extending almost all the way out to half court right here.
Kind of snuck
now
there.
Dropping back to 6, but again, shadow on Zued on the right back side of Calheat's offense.
Really trying to make everybody else beat them.
Bobbling. Oh, no call here. And now there it is. It was a trip. Common foul.
Common
Reset,
foul.
replay, and you'll see Calheat try to kill some more of that 2-minute penalty now.
You know, for some of you that may be watching, may have been more familiar with basketball.
Nothing better than a man-down goal.
Goal scored by number 54, Luca Engler. Now it's 15-11.
You talk about the psychological game, and there's a huge psychological aspect of being able to score on a team when you got one less player than them. So for Calheat to be able to get that goal, extend the lead to 4 now, getting over that magic 3-goal buffer that you talked about with just over 2 minutes to go. It's starting to look a little bit dire as we go into halftime here.
And, you know, it makes me wonder what Ministros will do to shift their tactics. They've showed a few different looks, shadow here, you know, a little bit of pressure there, a double shadow. You know, they're going to have to make some adjustments in the second half to counter the size, strength, and speed. Great
pass to the right wing.
Ooh. Throws him the cheese ball.
Nice off speed.
Throws him the cheese.
From the left-hander.
That's Juan Ibarra with a terrific goal.
Nice off-speed ball. Again, Calheat milking the clock as they roll the ball up to the center court position to restart play.
15-12 with 140.
While we're at it, let's get everybody a nice, good touch of stick 'em, and then we'll get it going. We'll see how Calheat's able to go right here. Again, a man down on the offensive possession. Eloy Rubio, right side of the goal.
Goalie ball is the call.
But again, Calheat running through the goal right there.
Nice
and the
pass.
official calling it goalie ball. But Lucas again shutting the door on the goal. Lucas Engler out.
Charging is the call.
Out of control.
And he didn't have any numbers. It was 1 versus maybe 3 or 4. So that's one where you just want to kind of see what's in front of you, pull out, set up an offense. You got a minute left. Penalty shot is called. The defender apparently was inside. They called it on Theo. The penalty shot is called with 50 seconds or so remaining.
We're going to have the first sub of the game. Here's that replay.
can really see the contact there, but you know, sometimes in handball you can sell it a little bit and make it look worse than it was. All right, once again, stepping to the line is Francisco Muniz Gomez.
Again, another nice off-speed throw to the left-hand lower side of the goal.
He is
Calheat going with a substitute goalie right there.
He's
coming off the bench right here was Omid Bazanjani.
Omid Bazanjani got out there and tried to do his best, but against their specialist, Francisco Muniz Gomez, he's proven himself to be quite formidable with 3 penalty shot goals this game. That's a double dribble violation. Dribbling violation's a call. Could have possibly delayed a game with 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Foul call.
One
there is
foul.
going to be one throw after the buzzer goes off right here.
Untimed play after the buzzer.
You'll see Calheat set up with a wall right on the 6-meter line. Their tallest guy's right in the middle. You'll see Lucas Kroger kind of direct where he wants him to stand. And the tallest, strongest shooter for the Ministros will come out here. The referee setting up right at the 9-meter line for this last throw before halftime.
This is where all of that height really matters. I'm looking at Avalos in the upper right from our direction. Oh, goodness.
Gets it through the wall, but no harm done.
Yeah. That was a heck of a try. At the end of the first half, 15 for Calheat, 13 for Club Ministros. A
little bit of extracurricular activity as the teams go to their benches to switch sides here at halftime. Halftime would be no more than about 5 minutes here.
15 minutes for our half.
Here. Get a little bit of extra time in that international play. I love that part.
Yeah, the 2x30 will yield that. So we're taking a 15-minute break, and we'll catch you right before we start the second half. Ministros on the attack from the left. Good cut on the backside from the right back. Woo! Stick and score. No foul.
No call from the referee. Soren Mueller on the counter. Nice pass from Lucas.
Ooh.
And a nice.
That is Soren Mueller. Here's the action from the top.
Quick action right off the back. Asphalt.
Okay.
On that contact right there.
We will try to get that confirmed. I don't want to have anybody's mom feeling scared or anything.
We're going to work the hardest we've ever seen. We're going to put everything we possibly can into making Mexico the first team to ever qualify.
Tipped and scored.
Ball turns it over. Ministros back on the counterattack. They've got about even numbers 3-on-3, but from the left side.
And it's in number 2 on the left. Pivot changes position to the right side. Ooh, nice fake.
Nice ball. They're going to get so many of those common fouls.
6 passes to go. Ooh, nice move.
Nice fake.
And a shot.
Do some of his studies here in the Bay Area once COVID is finished. He's played multiple tournaments with Calheat already.
It comes from somewhere over near Mountain View because he fired that thing in. Ooh, good shot from the wing.
Nice answer right there by the left wing. Really weighing in right here.
It really is. And, it's interesting. Even though they didn't make that. Whoa!
Okay. He's moving side to side in that goal. We'll see what Calheat's able to do. Immediately a 2-on-1.
Goal again in the mode of killing the penalty.
What a
Great
shot.
job with the stall on. You know, all of the pressure at that point was on the offense. Big attack by Eloy.
Even 6-on-6.
It's just a matter of getting what you want. Woo. That was a nasty. Calheat has another man advantage. Lots of space on that right side.
Eloy easy in. Out to the rebounding.
Goal scored by number 23, Luis Avalos. Ooh.
Eloy.
Live here from Fremont.
Watch the
California.
24th, the set shot.
Ooh.
He's able to get off the ground too, and he gets a pass, Lucas.
Boy.
Difference causing that turnover right as you speak about it.
That's right. All length matters. Nice dish
Is it
from
enough
Drew
to get to
Donlin.
Theo? Yes, it is. In the
Theo?
break, looking for Soren on
Theo
the left
and
side.
Soren.
He's got no room over here,
Ooh, nice
but he's able to
pass.
get it back to Eloy on the right side
Eloy
of the
once
circle.
again. Take advantage of any mistakes.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the score was 6-4 at one point in favor of the Ministros.
Number of transition plays, really taking advantage.
Easy. That's not the defense we're looking for. Fall. That's a second 2-minute penalty. Was there a 2-minute penalty?
No, there wasn't a 2, just a penalty shot. And a goal once again. Ministros did a great job of closing. More pressure back to the right side. Great. Eloy, he's in his bag. Those are steps.
Came up with the ball, big jump, came down with it without dribbling it. Now we got Theo back on the left side.
Look how wide they're spreading. Whew. Good gracious.
About the third time I've seen them try to go right down the middle and Lucas in.
Big.
Now.
For some of you that may be watching, may have been more familiar with basketball, they're going to have to make some adjustments in the second half to counter the size, strength, and speed. Great
pass to the right wing.
Ooh. Once again, stepping to the line is Francisco Muniz Gomez. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Centerville Junior High School here in Fremont, California, as we bring you more coverage of the Super Globe Qualifier Competition 2021. My name is Miles Bacon alongside of Anthony Scott Knox. 15-13 is our score at halftime. Calheat leads the Club de Ministros de Monterrey, Mexico, 15-13. I want to talk a little bit, Scott, about a couple of things we saw in the first half.
Well, what I saw was, again, a big size disadvantage from the Ministros. Again, you said it from the very beginning. They're a lot smaller. But for, I would say, about 80% of that first half, they were able to pretty much keep up with the size differential. They made up for that with their speed, their shiftiness, their quickness, and really their intensity. Again, like I keep saying, I was so interested to see what type of fight they have, because they claimed that they had a lot of fight. They had a lot of team fight, and that's exactly what we saw in that first half. That's what it would take in order to keep this game that close with the type of talent that the SF Calheat has over there.
As we wrap into the beginning of our second half, we'll give you some of the scores from the first half. Our leading scorer in the contest for San Francisco Calheat is number 61, Eloy Rubio. He's got 6. Number 38, Theodore Skogholm has 4. Number 54, Luca Engler has 3. And numbers 19, Soren Mueller, and number 24, Max Jukenhofer, have both contributed 1 goal each for the Ministros. 5 goals from number 5, numero 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez. 3 each from numbers 23, Luis Avalos, and number 24, Juan Ibarra. And number 21, also honor scoring, Daniel Ayala. Here we are starting the second half. 29 minutes and counting until we figure out who is the winner of this particular match. A little bit sloppy coming out of the break. Stalling warning is the call.
Calheat extends the defense. Zuet with the rejection and the quick one-handed rebound. And Eloy with the change of speed.
More of the same.
Counterattack after the Ministros. We won't call it a turnover, but I'll call it a steal by Zuet. Again, blocking that shot, and then again the quick leap, one-handed catch, and send down to Eloy with the assist.
He plucked it out of the like a plum out of a tree. I had pretty good idea that he was going to get it anyways, but he just did it so simply.
Size advantage helps, but a 40-inch vertical also helps.
Couldn't hurt. Great shot by number 24, Ibarra.
Calheat bringing it up the right side. Slavio coming into the offense-defense right now, in the center back position right now, working with Eloy and Theo on the left side of the offense for Calheat.
Here's an extension of pressure that we've seen. They're really trying to take away. It looks like, denying both wings or trying to.
Send a wing into a second circle now. Let's see what they do. They've got Captain America, Drew Donlin, and he turns it over.
Quick 4-on-2 break to the left wing. Big save.
Lucas Kroger still coming up big. Probably one of the biggest difference in this game has really been the number of saves that Lucas has had.
That's
now,
true.
Is it the saves, or is it perhaps that the shots haven't been as great? I mean, they've hit him a lot.
That's true. With a player like this, you really have to make them beat you.
Again, plucks another plum out of the air right there and throws it right in the back of the basket.
Big goal once again by number 62, Zued Akuro. Amazingly, that is his first of the day. It seems like he's had a lot more action, but
well, they've been playing that shadow defense out with him on the outside. It's really kept the ball out of his hands, and right now he's just trying to pick it out of the air wherever he sees it, and he's making a difference in other ways. And right there is the first time he's been able to do it by scoring a goal.
Yeah. And sometimes, being such a significant threat can help you create for others.
Defense a little bit out of control, but the referee says it's a common foul.
Yeah, ref says
offensive player a little bit out of control as he attacks the center of the defense there against Drew Donlin, number 33 for Calheat.
Slight extension of play. Ooh, what is our call? We've got a timeout call by the officials, and a 2-minute is assessed. Didn't quite see what happened on that play, but number 21, Makil Shepers, is to blame there, and Calheat goes down a man for 2 minutes.
Quick offense, kickball.
Foot fault not called.
Zuwez
Continuation
got quickly
advantage.
Big 3 steps.
Jeez.
Sheesh. Sheesh. That was perfect.
That was quite the gather step.
3 full steps in team handball.
18-14 is our score. 26-40 remaining in the first half. 4-goal game. It's right at that tough, edgy bit.
Calheat's defense really looking alive right here in the beginning of the second half. Extending that 2-goal lead now to 4. Ministros coming back trying to find a way to cut through that wall.
Yeah, they're going to have to get through that 3 or 4 goal barrier. It's something psychological about it. Nice skip pass across and buckets. Absolutely great pass. Number 77, Noe Trevino, finds his counterpart on the right side.
Luis Avalos again coming up on the right wing right there with that goal. Making it a 3-goal game now trying to get some action on the defensive side. They're still shadowing Zuwed on the right side of the Calheat offense. Calheat still a man down right here. Happy to take a foul if they could get one.
Good save.
Not able to get a goal, but are
2-minute
able to get
penalty,
a 2-minute penalty.
and
but they
it's
didn't mean to do
called.
that. Grabbing from behind, no control.
Yeah.
Ministros trying to set up a fast break attack right there. It's clear he was just trying to break it
Just
down.
wrap
right
him
there
up.
to
And
wrap up the 2-minute penalty a little bit. And now Calheat playing with 4 defensive players. Let's see what they're able to do now as Ministros come down on a 6-on-4 attack. Avalos.
And the
again
basket
from the
is
right side.
Whew,
Pump
right.
fakes. Again, it is so hard to play defense. There's a lot of ground to cover right now.
Yes, sir.
Ministros extending their defense out long. Again, keeping the ball out of Zuwed's
Now,
hand.
here's a great time to apply a lot of pressure. In this situation, maybe this team, Calheat, their ball handling and dribbling skills may or may not be where they want them to be. Ministros is trying to find out, so they're extending pressure out, really trying to make sure that, Calheat, if they try to dribble the ball, matriculate it up the court, there will be pressure applied, and trying to force them into mistakes.
Calheat back with 1 extra man now, 5 against 6. Playing 5 against 6, you don't really know how they're going to get that much space on the right side of the offense, but number 54, Luca Engler, able to knock it in. And now here comes Ministros. Zuwed picking up the ball as if it was a turnover, but a foul before the turnover.
Scott, I'm going to jump on something you said right there. If you're up a man, defensively, there is no real reason that somebody should get that clear of an opportunity to score.
Big foul on the right side, continuation given, but the official is going to say that the penalty was not thrown back in at the right spot,
right.
and now we're going to get a little towel off here at 9 meters.
Yep, the reset has to happen outside 9 meters, and all of the offensive players have to be outside of the 9 meters. And sometimes you get excited, you want a quick restart because you see something, maybe somebody's loitering on the backside, and that kind of negates it. So everybody on the team needs to be in that wavelength of, hey, we're trying to play a little bit quick.
Quick, unencouraged shot right there for the Ministros. Up 1 man.
Clock is not running currently.
Quickly throwing the ball over the goal.
We got it. Trying to help out here as best as possible. All right, 24 minutes, just over 24 minutes remaining. 19-16 is the Calheat lead. Again, a turnover.
A lot of bumbling with the ball right now. Zuwed tossing the ball down to Eloy in the right wing position. Falls right to left coming in. Throws it down on the left-hand side of the goal. Score now 20-16. Calheat up by 4.
Eloy has scored his 8th goal of this competition.
All even now, 6-on-6 with 23.5 minutes to go. Ministros again, that buffer zone that you talked about, 3 goals, now 4 goals. If Calheat continues to expand that right here, you're going to see them start to take more time on the offensive end, start to wrap up more on the defensive end, and really just try to salt this game away as we close it out here over the next 20 minutes or so.
Attacking pressure in the back center. And it really looks like Calheat is just kind of waiting for Ministros to make their move. They're sitting back on 6. They're not flying out to 9 meters. They're not giving them spaces through which to attack. They're just kind of hanging out, and as soon as someone attacks, they step in and help.
Passive play right now for Ministros. Only going to have about 3 more passes coming off of this 9-meter throw-in. Officials giving the position. Here comes the throw.
Block.
Stall still on. Stall still on right here.
Ball stays with Ministros.
And that'll be it. Lucas throwing the ball deep down the left side of Theo again, who throws it to Zuet in the middle of the 6-meter circle. And he lobs it gently over the top as Calheat now takes a 5-goal lead. Again, starting to put more and more pressure on the Ministros. You're starting to see them, their energy is starting to drop a little bit with the Ministros. We're going to see how they're going to be able to respond to this run that Calheat has come out of the second half with.
And remember how the game started. Early on, Ministros' bench was up, clapping, making a lot of noise. Right now, they're looking like they can feel it slowly slipping away. We'll see what they do to respond. Maybe they can create a goal.
And another turnover for Ministros, and here comes Theo down the left, and now back to Lucas Engler.
But it's a goal all the same. Lucas Engler.
The goal down. 6-goal lead. Timeout for
and
Ministros.
A timeout.
May have been about 2 or 3 goals too late, but there is still 21 minutes, 42 seconds left in this game. What's it going to take?
I mean, you know, if you let me tell it, and no one's asking me to tell it, but since you put a microphone in front of me, I will tell it. You're going to have to apply more full court type pressures in order to, you know, really force the Calheat team to come off of their game. But anytime you turn it over like this, you know, it's going to lead to simple goals. And that's really where Calheat has really thrived in this game, kind of waiting for Ministros to, you know, make a mistake and then to capitalize.
I've been playing for about 15 years now, and I would say that this is what always happens. You'll see a team come out, keep it close, but then as the game carries on, you start to see the skills, the fundamentals of one team start to take over the other. You're seeing the Ministros starting to throw the ball around a little bit, turn it over. Calheat has, I would say, at least 3 fast break goals right here to start off the second half, and because of that, that's where we're getting the 6-goal lead from, because they're getting all these easy goals off of turnovers from the Ministros right now.
And, you know, what we're seeing as well, because Calheat is so strong in their attack, for instance, out of their backcourts, I mean, we're seeing what Eloy has done today. You know, the defenders are going to have to, you know, commit to him, keep an eye on him. They're really, you know, gravitating toward him, and that's enabling a lot of skip passing and things to happen for the rest of the team. So, you know, the hot hand really dictates the action, and right now Eloy is doing his thing offensively, and everybody else is kind of trying to play off of that as best as possible. As we lead into this restart in our second half, Ministros down 16-22 with 21 minutes remaining. Really trying to be a little bit patient, trying to work off the pivot here on the left side.
All even 6-on-6 attack. We'll see what they get coming in the middle right here.
It's kind of a rarity in this game, having 6-on-6 play.
Seems like a lot of penalties. Another foul.
Once again, a common foul. It is encouraged for those of you who are, you know, who may or may not be confused. The common fouls are so important because it stops up the offense, really breaks their rhythm, and forces them to have to go again. It's frustrating as all to have that happen.
Real deep bench for Calheat right here. You see Alexandra El Assad throwing in the ball right there, doing a defensive-offensive switch with Eloy Rubio coming back in the game now. So you know Alex is one of those strong defensive players for Calheat, and you see that Michael Schepner is also dropping off on that defensive-offensive switch, and now it's Slavio back in at center back for Calheat.
All right. Looking to maybe give a couple guys some breathers, you know, kind of.
Lots of jersey grab right there.
2 minute for jersey grabbing.
When I could tell you whether or not Theo has his belly button pierced, it's probably because somebody's pulling on his shirt.
Oh, boy. Well, you know, I didn't want to know that either, but now that I know, and knowing is half the battle.
It's not. I can see it.
Okay, good talk. Well, all the same. The battle is fought, and a 2 minute is handed to Fabian Alonso. Fumbled and turned over.
Ministros going to slow it down right here. I mean, they're a man down. You want to slow it down, but you're also 6 goals down. So
yep. You got to be somewhat efficient in your delay. Ideally, here you want to absorb as much of the game clock as you can, while really setting up a great shot. So we'll see.
Ministros choosing to go without a pivot circle position right here. 6 court players on the outside of that 9-meter line. Let's see how they're able to attack now. Simple cross on the left side. Not a lot going on. They're just running into people. And now they're turning it over.
Bad turnover.
Again, he's in there for defense. He's got the steal.
I mean, you think about it, it's almost like football. Quarterback, you never want to throw late across the middle. Great goal there, scored by Theo. And now, with 19 minutes and 10 seconds, Calheat has stretched their lead out to 23-16. I won't say comfortably, but they are ahead, and they're looking, like they're really trying to exert their force and lean on the Club Ministros going forward.
Ministros came out with a ton of heart in the first half, but in the second half, the goal differential is just continuing to increase right here as we thought it might as the size. We talked about earlier, maybe it was before we got on air, but those body blows that over time is going to be hard to withstand. And you're seeing that right here as the Ministros are still having trouble.
Woo!
Oh, but then that happens.
Woo!
Nice quick move.
Shimmy,
Going
shimmy, y'all,
right to
shimmy,
left.
yam, shimmy, yay by Noe Trevino.
He was excited. I would have been excited too
Man.
if I put that on.
Bro, that was a right thumbstick
You see
juke. Check
coming
it
up
out.
on the replay, you're going to see him
Here
go
it comes.
left to right.
Shoot it.
Right to left, excuse me. I couldn't even remember what he did. He did it too fast.
Yeah, that was
Again, Calheat up 6 now with the ball. Zuet coming back in on the right backside. We'll see if Ministros still continue to shadow that side here on defense.
more pressure.
A little bit more pressure on the left-hand side of the offense.
Yep. Ooh, good rip. That's an offensive foul. Oh, boy. Again, turnover.
He threw it over the top. Again, turnovers.
The thing about handball, I have, when I played, I tried to keep a kind of 60% rule. If it was 60% or under on a pass like that, I tend to leave it alone. It's tough because he's, running along the sideline and such. A timeout as we cleaned up the floor a little bit. But, in those situations, when you're down like that, what is the most important thing? The ball, the possession. So it's tough, to have one of those learning type moments here.
A lot of pressure right here on the Ministros to find easy goals, but
yeah,
if you're throwing it off the sideline, you're not going to find any easy goals.
That's your catch-22, really. Trying to find easy goals, trying to create situations, advantages, etc. And sometimes you just get caught, in a bad way. So reset with Drew Donlin throwing it into Eloy, and Calheat makes their work begin. Bringing the left wing up to center back. Attacks through the middle.
Oh, what ball movement by Calheat.
That is an absolutely amazing offense.
An amazing
only
defense.
To be foiled by an outstanding goal. Nice job. I'm not mad at you, bro. Some outstanding passing there. And just a heck of a save. Sometimes it's okay to get lucky.
Positioning. He was in the right spot. He may have had his eyes closed, but he was in the right spot. He threw it right back out.
That was a great steal by Trevino. He user-picked that for all the Madden fans. It's got to be on that triangle or the Y button, depending on your format.
I'm a Y button guy. I'm a Y button guy. Y button.
Unfortunately, he was not an A button guy as he did not pass the ball properly and gave it right back to Calheat. 16:36 remaining, 6-goal lead. Calheat really taking their time, exerting their force. A little bit more extension from Ministros.
I'm seeing a little bit more excitement from the coaching staff over here on the side, too. They're doing everything they can right here to pump their team up. There's still time. There's 16 minutes left. That's the thing about handball. There's a lot of time for stuff to happen. If they can get a few turnovers going their way, a few counterattacks going that way, we could be looking at a 23-20 goal by the 13-minute mark.
Good score by Slava Jovanovski.
But as we said before, we've got to find that same type of defensive intensity that we saw in about that first 20 minutes of the game. But these body blows are starting to weigh on the Ministros team.
Yes, sir. Every one of them is tougher and tougher to recover from. Now it's a 7-goal game. 15:45 remaining in the contest. Timeout is called. Looks like a ball replacement, perhaps, is what we're looking at. Yep, changing the ball. Sometimes the ball gets a little bit wet.
When you combine a little bit of sweat with that sticky substance, it doesn't work anymore.
I was almost going to quote Eminem, but I know better that we have younger fans at home, so I will not do that. But yes, a combination of a little bit of dew, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of rosin means we need a new ball. They got one. Now we're ready for action. 24-17, 15:44, and they can start the clock at any point.
You got to keep them engaged over there on the score sheet.
Right.
Well, people trying to keep this under control, and we got a goal going right down the middle.
Big score by number 23, Luis Avalos. We're trying to sort out what happened here. I couldn't really tell. Was it a quick restart, Scott? Was it a...
It looks like they're trying to call a penalty for an illegal substitution on the Ministros right there. That's, I think, what we got that horn for. We're going to find out right here. And, yes, it looks like it's a illegal substitution for Ministros. Too many players on the court, meaning one person's going to have to go out. So what was happening right there, they were trying to get a goalie switch going on. And while they were happening, we saw Calheat try to get a quick throw in. It was an amazing shot. I didn't even see who took it, but it bounced off the crossbar and right into the back of the net. But before that shot was taken, the penalty had already been horned by the table. The referees came in, stopped the ball, and it was a 2-minute penalty.
The last goal was scored by Luis Avalos. And like you said, Scott, sometimes you want to switch your goalies or, make a new movement. You got to do it through the right substitution zone. And it's kind of unfortunate. Woo, he gets the right way. It's kind of unfortunate that, in those situations, that we're seeing a lot of these like almost rookie mistakes, right? Sideline faults, substitution fault, simple things, that more graduated players and teams should be beyond. But cobwebs, coming off of, non-competition for a long time, a little bit of jitters. But we're settled in the second half, so, not as many excuses at this point.
Well, Ministros now playing a man down, and again, even a man down throwing the ball over, you like to see them get something good, but even with a man down, it's hard to get that.
Another unforced turnover.
A little behind the back pass right there from Michael. And a save. Quick attack right there. Calheat playing a little bit more relaxed right now with the situation. We got some players that haven't been in the game quite yet, and now they're wanting to get a little bit of action. So you're not going to see this slow down at all because we had some guys with some fresh legs that are coming in to get their second half stats in.
That's a good point, Scott. The last shot, great build by the offense. It was taken by Alex Lohr. He actually jumped kind of goofy foot, jumped off his right foot to take a right-handed shot. But the goalie was not confused nor surprised by it. But like you said, Scott, there, Calheat is really looking to kind of create some more substitutions, give some guys some breaks. I thought that was going to be a charge call, but
well, it looked like when that contact was initially made, that Drew Donlin was standing inside of 6 meters right there. So no matter, there was a lot, I would call it a charge, but he was standing inside of 6 meters right there, so you're going to get the penalty shot awarded.
The official obviously has a lot better perspective than I do. And another penalty goal scored by...
Well, you're a certified official too, Miles, so you've got plenty of good perspective.
Yes,
I'll give you some credit.
But I also have certified astigmatism, so I'm going to stay in my lane over here with the microphone in my face and congratulate Francisco Muniz Gomez with another penalty shot. He has scored 6 goals this game, 4 of them per penalties. He's definitely their marksman in those situations. 25-19, we're under 13 and a half minutes. In fact, 13:05 at the end of this sentence.
A lot of contact right there, a little shove at the end.
A little bit more physicality.
Very interested to see how Zoued comes back after all that contact. Keep your eye on him on the right side right here.
Boy, they are playing very aggressively coming
Contact
off the line.
on the left side.
Ministros coming very aggressively off the line. Again, this is one of those things where they sometimes have to assert a little bit more. Calheat sees a couple things they want to fix up and take a timeout with 12:42 remaining. Calheat with a 6-point lead, 25-19.
A lot of action here in the second half. Again, that 6-goal lead, 12 minutes to go. Always start doing a little bit of math. Like, how many goals have we scored so far? Is there even enough time to score this many goals? Oh, we see Zoued again plucking that ball out of the air, sending it down to Eloy. One of the nicer goals we've seen. These are our second half goals. Again, for what it's worth, we're going to see a little bit more of Calheat right here.
Yep, Calheat is really, they came out of the blocks, firing. And Ministros has done a decent job of keeping some pace. They're their own biggest enemy at this point with a lot of the unforced turnovers that have allowed some easier goals. Some great passing by both teams, really utilizing the court. Ball fake and a finish. That was nice. He gave him the Jordan shrug, too. You see that?
It happens.
Yeah. Jordan, obviously a Tar Heel.
From
Laney High School in Wilmington, North Carolina. All right. Aloy is doing his thing. He is he is a man on fire, no Denzel Washington.
Eloy with the ball on the left side, passing it over to Slavio. They're going to go right away, but another horn.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do we got going on here? Looks like a violation, a bench warning to Club Ministros. Just a verbal warning and admonishment. Do better.
Looks like the Ministros coach a little bit perturbed about something. And the referee giving him the yellow card and saying, I hear you. Please sit down.
Ooh.
Nice attempt right there for Drew Donlin at the pivot position. But
Man.
they're saying that he took off when his foot was still inside of 6. So, therefore, negating that goal right there.
It looked like a basketball equivalent of a tip back, unfortunately. Whoa.
And that is going to be a 2-minute penalty.
He knew it immediately. Number 21, Makil Shepherds.
Apologize immediately.
He knew what it was.
Anytime you get up around the shoulder, neck area as a defender, you're going to expect a 2-minute penalty.
From the
just about
side,
every
from
single
behind,
time.
always a little bit dangerous.
Tournament organizers have been doing a great job keeping the floor clean.
Get it,
Thank you
Constance.
guys for that.
Nice job, Constance.
And Ministros ready to set it going again.
All right,
Here
so
at 9 meters. 2-minute penalty for Calheat.
this would be a great opportunity for Ministros to apply any greater defensive pressure. You know, maybe pick up, you know, everybody full court, have one man roving, just something to mix it up. I haven't seen them change their tactics but so much, you know, since the first half. And a 2-minute. So a penalty is called, a penalty
I'd
shot.
love to see that again.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. Not totally sure how everything happened there, but once again stepping to the line is Muniz. The penalty is called on number 54, Luca Engler. And once again, number 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez.
Ministros looking to set a new tone right here on defense.
So now
Again,
it's 6
picking
on
up
4.
a little bit further out.
6 on 4. Myself, I would pressure every one of their handlers.
I believe Zoo had tripped over his own feet right there. Ministros back in the game quickly.
They're young. They should be already down court. There should be
6
no
on 4
hesitation.
offensive attack. And it is wrapped up by Zuwed on the left side. Almost, not quite. Ball bobbled off the shin for the Ministros, and Lucas Kroger will slow it down right here.
And that's one of the toughest things. Obviously, everybody knows from Team Ministros that you have to get the ball across the court, but you just got to be patient and make good passes. You know, it's tough. I mean, you know, everybody's excited. We're down 5. Now we got a chance to, you know, get up a goal. And Eloy.
Nice spin shot from Eloy on the left-hand side. Ministros still trying to push it back quick as they're still up 6-4. Now 6-5.
Another turnover. Another one. Maybe some steps. No, dunk. Ooh,
And
big
rejected.
save. Massive save.
Donlin with the rebound.
Double dribble. They called a double dribble.
Ministros trying to get the ball back in quickly. Still up 6-5 right here.
Again, having a multiple man advantage, you should at least get a couple of goals.
to 2 at least.
You should have more goals than turnovers.
You've got
We'll just
3
say it
on
like
1
that.
on the left side
Unfortunate.
and a penalty shot awarded. As Zuwed.
Yep. They called a penalty. Like he stepped in. We'll take a look at it with you guys. There's the attack.
Yeah, cuts him off. He was already in the air.
What I think they're calling is when you're moving like that, it's almost like basketball. You don't necessarily have to have your feet set, but you can't let your body extend away from your trunk, right? So his leg moved out. A penalty shot was called and scored. Once again, you guessed it, numero 5, Francisco Muniz Gomez. Man on fire right now. He's got the last 3 goals. They have all been penalty shots. But Ministros still finds themselves down 5 goals with 9.5 minutes remaining in the second half of this contest.
All even right now on the floor. Calheat back with 6 guys on the floor. Ministros with 6 players on the floor. Donlin setting up at 6 meters right here, and another turnover for Calheat.
Turnover's called.
As Donlin wrestles with
delay of game.
Donlin wrestles with Ministros on the ground right here, and they're going to call him from a 2-minute delay of game penalty. Again, whenever that whistle is called, you got to know, is it my ball, is it their ball? If it's their ball, you got to get up, get to the other side of the court. Right there, it looked like Drew was kind of wrestling with the aftermath of that play, and the 2-minute penalty was given.
And maybe Drew thought it was his foul. Maybe he thought it was his ball, as it were. But at the end of the day, you got to be aware of what's going on. Here again is yet another opportunity for Ministros. They've had a lot of opportunities here in the second half. They just haven't capitalized much. So we'll see what they do.
My goal, if I'm the Ministros coach right here, we want to get it to 3 goals before this 2-minute penalty is up. And that was our first opportunity. We missed it. So back on defense, add a little bit of pressure, keep the ball in front of you, see if you can't get a turnover. But again, you've got to make something happen.
That was a little bit too fast of an offensive view. If you look at it, the ball went to the right side, never came all the way back to the left wing. They are out of people after a certain point. But they just couldn't get the ball back over to that side. And now here's Calheat once again on the attack. Good pressure by the Ministros middlemen. The 2-3-2 box.
Calheat will take that common foul right there as they continue to try to kill the clock, which is
still running. That makes up for the times when it wasn't running before. It all balances out. It's the circle of life, as Elton John sang.
And now we've got a stoppage.
There it is. Clock is stopped officially. If they were to put time back on the clock, it should be 8:18. But who am I? I know nothing. I just look at stuff. 8:21 is their call. 5 goal lead. He's just waving like, hi, how you doing? Hey, boo.
This is the international sign.
All right. Yes, we need to clean.
Wet spot.
Good stuff. 5-goal game here with 8:21 remaining. Calheat, once again, is still on the 5-goal, 5-goal thing. Both teams are really looking to expand that in their own way, or decrease it, as is the case for
Calheat still down 1 man right here. Quick move, and Slavio takes the ball right. Zuwed's got in the middle now.
One of the things about moving quickly.
Lot of contact. You've got a big handful of jersey, and now another 2-minute penalty awarded.
Against number 21, Daniel Ayala.
A few seconds of 5-on-5 right here. Calheat shouldn't be down, man, much longer here. Again, look for that quick attack to the right. I'm looking at Theo on the left wing right here. Let's see if they're able to get
He's
the ball
wide
down to
open.
him.
Skip pass. No, they didn't use it, but it's still there. Nice
It is
dip.
still there.
Ooh.
A lot of options. A man up right here. Excuse me, a man down. No, even 5-on-5. There were a lot of options right there.
They abandoned the pivot, which you never want to do. But yeah, the cool thing, when I was talking about the skip pass, a lot of times if you see it once and you don't do it, it'll be back there again. So maybe they'll look to play that more. As it stands, 6-goal game, 7.5 minutes remaining in the contest. Slithery attack from our 2K fans.
We'll consider it common contact again. 9-meter ball. Calheat happy to let that ball trickle behind the goal as more time keeps running off.
Right.
Almost down to 7 minutes remaining now.
Clock keeps running in handball for the most part. Nice ball fake.
A little
Not
bit of
good
head
placement.
contact right there. Not called. Calheat pushing. Bet you'll see him slow it down here in a second. And there goes the pullback.
Live substitution for Ministros. Everything settles down. Under 7 minutes remaining. 6-goal game for San Francisco Calheat, as they really look to kind of salt this clock out and put the screws to Ministros. Nice skip pass
There's
there.
your skip.
And a winner.
Nice
Big
shot
goal.
right there from Engler.
Number
coming off the
54.
right wing.
That is his 6th goal of the contest. Luca Engler.
6 minutes. Ministros looking for an 8-0 run right here with 6 minutes to go in order to take over this game.
Well, if it were like the other players in the Bay Area, we'd be looking for some three-pointers. Unfortunately, no Splash Brothers, no triple, and another turnover. Once again, Zeus. Oh, a little bit outside. Missed by an eyelash. All right, coming back down, Ministros. Again, a lot of empty possessions. Need to start converting. What's going to happen? Watching for the center back spot. They're delayed in action, very slow for a team that is under pressure of the clock. They're playing very slowly.
Oh boy, you're going to get a 2-minute and
that's right.
Just a 2-minute call right here.
Second. Oh, that is the third.
You're going to see as the ball was trickling down right here in the middle, he pulled him from behind. That is the cardinal sin of handball. And a red card was
that is
awarded.
the third 2-minute.
That's his third 2-minute penalty.
Makil Shepers, and that disqualifies him from the contest.
He'll watch the rest of the game somewhere over here on the spectator side with us again.
Yep, he's got to come to the other side, hang out with the good guys over here.
Really a frustration foul right there.
Yep.
Calheat well in control. You wish you just let that go, but it's kind of hard to just let a guy walk it in like that from about 10 meters. Big stop by Lucas. Rebound immediately and stuck right back in.
Once again, Francisco Muñiz Gomez.
Big penalty shot disadvantage in this game.
That's right, Scott.
I would say that's probably about like the 8th or 9th penalty shot the Ministros have had so far. Calheat only having about maybe 1 or 2. Big difference without those penalty shots. Again, it hasn't been a whole lot of half-court offense for the Ministros in this game. As you see Slavio coming in from the left back position with his first goal of the game, I believe. Second goal, says Miles. A lot of contact on the left side. They're still moving.
Ooh, nice goal. Scored by number 77, Noe Trevino.
Can we just get him the ball? I love his enthusiasm. Can we just get it to him?
Oh, that was a good shot, though. Way to pull the goalie off his line, make him adjust, fluffed it right over top of him. 6-goal game, 4.5 minutes remaining. A little bit more pressure applied by Ministros. We'll see if Calheat can adjust, adapt. Ball fake, nothing there. Nice back cut. Oh, my goodness.
Now, that was a lot of air, and again, at this time of the game, you'd almost like to see Zue just let that go.
Yeah.
And right after that goal, you see Noe Trevino really hurting on the ground. I think he may have hit his head.
I believe Zue kind of landed on him a little bit, and, no disrespect. Really and truly, big respect to all the little guys in the world like myself, but we're not built to carry a man like that.
So we'll take a brief pause as they attend to him on the side. He
certainly hope he's okay.
Yeah. So as we take a quick break right here, as they attend to the injured player. Tomorrow night, Calheat versus NYC, correct?
Should be an interesting contest. Oh, we hope the best for Mr. Trevino here. So it looked like perhaps Zuet landed on him, maybe caught him in the leg. I don't want to speculate too much, but all the same, fortunately we do have training staff available. Get him assessed. Looks like they're working at his ankle some. Calheat takes over with 3 minutes and 50 seconds officially on the clock.
You'll look to see more and more pressure from the Ministros.
Slave.
Not enough pressure right there as Slavio takes it to the right side for his third goal of the contest. Ministros quickly coming back.
Good block. Oh, unfortunate block.
Zue with a deflection. Sometimes the goal is just like, I had it. Just let it go. I had it. But right that time is going to be a goal for the Ministros, now down 6 again with 3.5 minutes to go. Again, you're going to see more pressure from the Ministros, and you're going to see more of a slower pace from Calheat.
I mean, if you let me tell it, Scott, we should have seen a lot more pressure before this. It's almost too little too late at this point.
Turnover. It's a little something.
Woo. Big shot. Big shot.
Off the sidebar and off the sideline will mean Calheat ball, as that ball never even touched the goalie. Got it past the goalkeeper, but not past the crossbar or the sidebar right there.
The iron unkind. A little bit of woodwork. All right, under 2 minutes.
See a lot of bob and weave right here as Calheat tries to break down this man-on-man extended defense from the Ministros.
2:30
Slavio again on the left side this time.
Zero angle.
No angle. Nice shot, though.
Yeah, it was. He gave it a good effort. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. 6-goal game for the Calheat.
Oh my goodness!
Slow it
Wide
outside.
Looking for the pull on the arm right there. The referee says no, and Calheat takes over again with 2 minutes now remaining. Lucas outside of 6 to help relieve some of that pressure.
Here comes some full court pressure finally from the Club Ministros. And a turnover.
They got what they wanted right there. A little bit of extra pressure, a little bit of.
And now they got a man up, 6'5", attacking the other way. Ooh!
Okay. And another penalty shot.
Pushed
We're going to have a
in the
timeout with
back.
that under 2 minutes.
Yep, it's a good call. Push right in the back. And that foul goes to number 19, Zoran Muller.
Ministros at the penalty line again, where they've made a lot of their money tonight from that penalty strike.
Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 goals directly. Sorry, 6 goals directly off of
defense
penalty
remains
shots.
expanded out to the half-court line.
Minute and a half remaining.
Folks home with the ball at about 9 meters.
And a goal scored by number 54, Luca Engler.
And it's just back and forth right now.
At
Calheat
this
can do
point.
this all day long. They've got a minute 15, 5-goal lead.
The goal scored by number 54, Roger Mancia. And
now
it's
Calheat will take another timeout just to reset and say, look, we've got this game, but no more turnovers. Shouldn't be any more really than about 2 or 3 more possessions. This game is out of reach. So, again, after you've seen what you've seen from Calheat tonight, I'm excited to see tomorrow night against the New York City Club. We saw some of their coaches around early this evening.
Scouting a little
Scouting it out. And you know what I really expect? I expect for a lot of what they saw today to not see tomorrow. I believe that Calheat stayed flat against what they felt like was a less experienced, a less talented, a smaller team. They didn't have to really pull all of their tricks out of the bag. Now, we saw a couple of individuals like Zued and Eloy and even Slavio, Theo, pull some tricks out of their individual bags. But I believe that Coach Danilo still has some tricks in his bag that he'll be looking to pull out tomorrow because, again, we're going to be seeing Calheat and NYC going up against each other for a lot on the line for about the 4th or 5th time here in the last 3 years.
I mean, it's like what you said, Scott. I mean, Calheat never really came off on any crazy defense because they didn't have to. Maybe they, extended, out towards the center back a little bit more on occasion, but for the most part, they never had to go into any kind of tricky defense. And nice goal there, scored by number 54.
Another goal.
Roger Mancia gets 2 in a row. That's his 3rd of the game. But again, it's a little bit too late. 39 seconds and counting. Calheat up 4.
Goodness. What I do appreciate right there is both sides right there kind of like giving themselves up in air. Nobody really trying to like cause any type of extra right here. The goal differential clearly out of control. So glad to see both teams staying safe right there.
Yeah.
15 seconds to go. Love to see just maybe 1 or 2 more tie-ups. But Theo says, I want more. Now he's pulling from behind.
Yeah.
Let it go. 5 seconds on the clock. Goal differential could be a thing, but please be careful.
There will be one untimed throw. Should be one untimed throw from about 10 meters. The referee should allow that. They should allow this throw, as it may or may not affect our goal differential down the line. One shot. Senor Muniz, who has been filling it up
From 7 meters. We need him to fill it up right now from about 12 meters.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough shot.
Off to make it a 3-goal game.
It's a tough shot with this wall.
Don't hurt anybody. Nice attempt.
Good
Float
try.
harmlessly over the top of the goal.
So our
That'll be
final
it.
of day 1, our first competition, Calheat step out 31-27 over Club Ministros de Monterrey. Fun contest. Again, I think there was a lot of trying to feel out each other and seeing what the other team was going to do. And like you said, Scott, I don't anticipate tomorrow's game to be anywhere near the same. There's a lot more familiarity between Calheat and the New York City team. So at the end of the day, we got an outstanding game. We are very thankful to have all of you watching our game. On behalf of Mr. Anthony Scott Knox, I am Miles Bacon, and I'd like to thank our producers and camera guys, Kevin and Luis, for giving us a great opportunity. We hope you all are tuning back in tomorrow evening around about the same time, and we will see 2 of the best clubs in all of the United States going at it tomorrow evening. Once again, for Anthony Scott Knox, I'm Miles Bacon, live here from the Bay.